bit of shadow there because of the underneath the body. So I'll make that dark inside there. And then on top. Shadow on there. Almost finished legs. Okay, and that looks pretty good. Okay, quite happy with that. So they're the legs done. Now we might come back to them and work over them a little bit more once we finish the body. Right, next. Now, oh no, I lied. Forgot about putting the little hairy legs on. Get that texture in there, so it makes it look a little bit more realistic. There you go. Okay. Right then. So now that we've done that, we want to start sorting out this body. No, actually, we're going to change. We're just going to do the wings. Now, the wings have got like an orangey tinge to them as well. Now, before we actually start, I'm going to do it in yellow because it's nice and light. And if you look at wings, so this is the reference I'm using at the moment. So if you look at these wings here, you can see they're all kind of webbed. So let's try and create that kind of webbing effect on here. So something that looks like that. And let's go down the other side. So again, got this kind of webbing. Okay, so I've done it in yellow on purpose, because then that way I can push harder with an orangey colour next. So just to make that kind of stand out. Just ever so slightly, just to make it pop. Also makes it look a little bit more interesting. So I'm just tracing some of those lines. There you go. And I'm actually going to go back over with my normal drawing pencil. I will just add a little bit of shade to it because they're not perfectly clear, so a little bit shaded. So I'm just going to go back over very lightly, shade over the top, and I'm going to ever so slightly add a little bit of line details within each of these little pockets, just to help make them stand out just a little bit. Okay. Dark shadow there. Okay. So wings are done. Now let's sort out the actual stripes. So they are dark and black. There is also going to be a slight reflection. So we're going to leave a little bit of a gap, kind of like arcs down, like so. So leaving this gap here for the light reflection. So I'm going to bring this all the way around to the belly side. Colour that in black. And then bring that round a bit more. Curve it. Like so. And then for this part, again, we're going to curve around here. Okay, and we want a little bit of dark there. So you've got this kind of like light that comes round. And then I'm actually not going to, I'm going to change this part here. I don't want to put a stripe on there. So I'm actually going, this is where I'm going to use my rubber. I've completely changed my mind. I'm going to take those stripes out. And that's a bonus, because if you haven't pushed too hard, then they should come out fairly well. Okay, now we've got the stripes in. Let's sort these eyes out. Now, they've got, it's kind of like a browny reddy tinge to it. So we want like a reddy brown. I'm going to use this brown and this brown. So I've got a range of browns. And I'm going to add a little bit of red at the front part of this eye. And I'm also going to put a little bit of red in this beak. Next we'll use the light brown. Over. Around those eyes. And then I'm going to use the dark brown. Kind of make that stand out. And then I'm going to finally, I'm going to use the black. So I've got that eye like that. Now, the antennae, I'm actually going to adapt them ever so slightly. Yeah, I'm going to use just black for these. So make them a bit thicker, give them a little bit of texture, and make them a little bit bobbly as they come down like so. Do the same on the other side. Lovely. Now bring that round to a point. Show that in. Okay. Right. Now what we want to do is we want to give it a bit of an undercoating with the colours. So you've got yellows, you've got oranges. So we want orange. We want yellow. Do you want that yellow? Actually, I want to go with this one. So like a yellowy orange. We also want a tad bit of brown. So that was quite a nice brown. And what we want to do is we want to colour in very lightly over the top of the light colour to start with. So we're going to use this yellow just to begin. Now remember, the bees are hairy, so in a moment when we start building this texture up, we want to be using directional lines. Now this is just to build up an undercoat, so you can see through the hair. And the same for the head. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with the orange, but this time I'm going to think about where that orange is. So the underside, ever so slightly, and around, trying to make it look like I'm shading with those colours. You can see that. And around, and then so it starts to look a little bit more 3D. And then we'll do the same with the brown, just near the edges. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect, it'll be nice and rough. Okay, so now this is where we want to go into loads of detail. So I'm going to go back to that orange, and we're going to start by adding some texture lines and hair to try and make, whilst now you've got to think about the direction, don't want to just randomly, no, it will point outwards, all in a kind of spray. So imagine you have, if we cut the wasp in half down like this centre, you'd have all the spikes around like a sun rays. So you've got to imagine that these would point outwards, and in those directions. They won't all be in the same direction. Same for this part. Now once we've done this, we're going to switch the colours. We're going to go for a darker colour. So we're going to use a brown. So you've got all these kind of texture lines, and you can see it's starting to look really, really hairy. Okay, but at the moment it looks kind of still a slightly flat, so I'm going to go back over with this brown, and we're going to add some more lines. So we've got all those texture lines. Now we want to go even darker brown. So where's that dark brown? This one, it's more like a purple. Oh, no. Yep, that'll do. So this time we're going to focus on areas where it will be quite shadowy. Just a bit more shade on this parts. So they build up that texture, make it a little bit more darker. And there we have our wasp. Now the last thing we want to do is we want to add a little bit of a shadow. So let's say he's laying down. So if you can, try and add a little bit of a kind of cast shadow underneath, so it looks like he is actually 3D, and you can even go back over with your pencil and add even more shade and tone to try and make this stand out. Okay, so and there we have our wasp. Have a go, try it yourself and enjoy.